a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Whoa. Brr.
Are you cold?
No, but
okay.
oh,
I get it.
It's two, and
Punny.
it's supposed to snow tonight. If you didn't know,
That's what I heard. But we've been talking a lot of snow around
so
here. We
round
had
two
Snowmageddon
for the
already.
fans that are not in
Not
the
in
Northwest.
the Northwest.
We are projected snow, and let me tell you, the stores. You would think it was fucking Y2K because they were ransacked again. Even after last week when it snowed 0.5 inches.
Right, and everyone had the great panic here in the Northwest. Right.
But again, I went to the stores and it was like, we'll be snowed in for weeks. But it's supposed to like sprinkle tomorrow.
Right. A little bit.
And it won't snow at all. It will rain. Guaranteed.
I wonder if we'll have school tomorrow.
Well, fuck. Let me tell you, they don't cancel college for anything.
No,
they
they
do not.
don't. No.
And WSU's on a fucking tallest
Tight
goddamn
schedule?
hill in the goddamn, or they're on a big hill in fucking Vancouver. Nothing though. It's got to be 8 feet of snow before
Right.
they cancel that bitch.
Yeah.
They're saying hike there.
Damn.
Oh yeah, it's cutthroat, man. It's not like high school where it snows
Half
half
an
a
inch.
centimeter
No,
and the whole
yeah.
goddamn city closes
Close
down.
it, yep.
But of course, they're not driving giant school buses either, so
Right,
they
yeah.
gotta.
You self-transportate there.
Once the kids aren't their risk anymore, they really
They
start,
just
start giving a
give
shit
zero
about what
shits.
happens.
They're like, yeah,
They
just
could die
do
on
what
their
you
way.
gotta
Who
do.
gives a
Yeah.
shit if they die or not?
We still got your money, bitch.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
they're thinking.
Well, why are we talking about this cold, harsh like weather?
Well, I would say because we're reviewing something rather chilling.
Oh, we are.
We are.
We are. It's taken on ice. Is what we can call it.
We're just gonna go back and forth until one of us can't come up with one.
Oh, we are reviewing Cold Pursuit
Yes,
today.
the Liam Neeson film.
Yes, not the biggest film to come out this year.
No, not the biggest one, but I would say probably one of the more surprising films.
Oh,
as
yeah,
far
for sure,
as,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a slow week at the box office this week.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Nothing coming out.
Nothing.
The big one, I think, was the fucking How to Train Your Dragon or whatnot.
Right, and I haven't seen the first two. But I heard online that they wrapped up the trilogy really well.
Oh,
with
yeah.
this
The
third
first
one.
two are actually really good.
I know, I need to watch them.
They're good.
They're DreamWorks, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's Spielberg, baby.
Ooh.
He owns DreamWorks.
Oh, I thought you meant specifically he directed the...
No, but he's got a hand in it.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean,
he's got a
making
hand
that
on
money.
everything. Yeah, he's got making a lot of money.
But so Cold Pursuit, starring Liam Neeson, the big man himself,
Neeson?
old timer
Himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in his last action film is what he says.
No way. So what is he going to get into now? Is he going to do more like...
Hopefully, just serious acting.
Okay.
But this movie was kind of wrapped in
Controversy?
some controversy.
I didn't know if you were going to bring it up or not.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah,
How could
you have
not?
to, yeah.
I think this movie got kind of hit in the ratings because of it.
It did.
Because
Yeah.
it came out with an 83% when it came out on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Then Liam Neeson came out and said, I think some reviewers, which there's obviously some left-wing reviewers
Oh, of course,
in the
yeah.
movie
Just like
industry.
they're... Yeah.
But yeah, I think it kind of suffered because of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Well,
we
they
can-
even canceled the premiere for this
Yeah,
film
New York,
because
of
it.
that, yeah. Let's just talk about crazy ass. let's talk about the controversy. If you haven't heard, so this movie came out, and then Liam Neeson came out randomly. It seemed like unprovoked, almost.
Yeah.
He came out and said that was it his cousin or was it just his friend?
A
or
friend
something?
of his.
A friend of his,
And
which
this
was
was
a
40
woman.
years ago. Yeah.
40.
Yeah, 40.
40,
with
yeah.
a zero,
40, yeah. 40 years ago. She was raped by an African American man.
Right.
And he went out. He said this to a reporter for unknown reasons. But he said that he went out for a week looking for just a random black guy to kill.
Right.
Which is crazy. Right?
Very crazy. Yeah, very crazy. Yeah, and definitely that interview taken out of context can even seem even worse.
Yeah.
Than already the damning. Like, and it's such a weird thing for him to come out and.
But it's not.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, listen, man. If that actually is the case, it's not even something you should ever say.
It is, but it's not
in the public light.
I don't think as much as it was a race thing, which I don't think, because I think if it was, then I think it'd be because right now he's not barred from Hollywood or anything.
No, he's
right?
not, because it wasn't a race thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a race
more
thing.
Of, yeah.
But I think that was the big part of it that people were focusing on.
Yeah.
Because it was a black guy that had raped his friend or whatever. I think if
Right.
it had been, I don't know, a white guy or something, he might have just went and looked for any white guy.
Exactly.
And he probably would have ended up
Well, and he
fucked.
clarified that too. And there were people, I can't remember her name, but she came out and she goes, I know he's not racist the way he kissed me on set. And she's like a person of color and stuff. So
Because it was an African American
Right,
that was
yeah,
saying
yeah,
it. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Man,
it was
you can
funny.
tell that, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's what she said. She goes, "There's no way he's racist the way that man was kissing me."
Oh,
So,
my God. I heard he's
whoa.
quite the
This is
lover,
getting
Liam
spicy,
Neeson. I heard, yeah.
That's
I've heard some things.
you know,
Yeah.
he's
but I
he's a
guess-
wild man though. There's no doubt about it.
And is that not the most Liam Neeson thing
It
to
is.
do?
It's very Liam Neeson. Yes.
I mean, now we just know he's playing himself in this movie. He immediately takes revenge on his own account.
Yeah.
If he hears something bad, he's going out. He's taking.
Listen, if
he's
we've
got a
learned-
set of skills.
Yep.
He knows how to use them. He's gonna come for you.
Yes. If there's one thing we've learned about Liam Neeson, don't mess with his family. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with anyone associated with the man, because he will find you and
if
he
you
will
don't-
kill you.
And if, I've known this story for a long time, but I've known Liam Neeson has been crazy for a long time,
Oh,
longer
yes.
than this story.
Right.
But he was originally an English teacher before he was an actor, 50 years ago in England or whatever, or
What
Ireland.
a fun
He's,
English teacher that would have been.
he's from Ireland. Oh, very, I'm sure, charismatic.
Oh, I can imagine.
But a kid pulled a knife on him, and he beat the shit out of the kid.
And it was 50 years ago too, so you can get away with that.
Oh, they actually fired him.
Oh, they did.
That's when he stopped being a teacher. They did. But the kid was
That
going to
is
stab
so,
him.
that's so confusing to me. That if,
It
if
is, yeah.
someone is going to threaten you with a knife, could possibly end your life. So what are you supposed to do? Sit in your chair and let the kid stab you in the neck? Be like, well, can't defend myself.
Well, I
Such
imagine
an odd
he
case.
probably not only took the knife from the kid, but then proceeded probably just to teach that kid a lesson. And probably
would-
maybe took. Oh yeah.
Look, man, if
well,
a kid-
if
if a
you're
kid-
going to
yeah.
though, you got to know you're going to get fired.
That's fine. That's fine. If
Well,
someone's going to
that's why
threaten,
that's
to-
what- that's
yeah,
Liam
if someone's
Neeson's
going to
thinking,
threaten
too.
my life and try to stab me and literally take my life, then I will teach you a lesson.
But it did, and he did beat the kid, and he did get. But I mean, if of all people to pull a knife on, for one, the guy's 6'4", or he might be 6'6".
Yeah, not a wise move on the
He's a
on
big
the kid's
guy,
part.
and
yeah.
this is prime Liam Neeson.
Right,
I
this
mean,
is him in his
this is
early
crazy
20s probably.
Irish. You know, he's
Yeah.
probably been tipping back to Guinness all day.
All
I
day
assume
long.
they allowed.
At school, he's got a little flask in his desk. He
I
opens
assumed
it up
they didn't
between
even need to be hidden.
periods.
I assumed back in Ireland in those days it was
Good point, yeah.
Drink, come on, drink all you can.
Do your thing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're dealing with kids, do your thing, man.
Yeah, but yeah. So I've always known he's been some kind of a hothead, but he's getting up there still.
He is.
He's getting up there. He can't be going out. Of course, this was 40 years ago, but
was,
I still think he would go out and try to hunt someone down. Now,
Someone
of course,
hurt him or someone that he knew? Probably, yeah.
Of course, now he's a little more known. I guess he'd probably have more problems
Getting around, yeah.
carrying around, yeah. But yeah, so this movie has been wrapped in controversy
Definitely has been.
for the most part. So it might have suffered because of that. And people might have not heard of it because of that.
Well, and here's another factor to weigh in is the fact that Liam Neeson has done so many of these action movies that are kind of the same in their
Yeah.
approach to like it's very Liam Neeson for the last like 5 years. And I assume going into this Cold Pursuit that is literally what it was going to be.
I
again.
had literally no foreknowledge at all what this movie was going to be.
Same.
I thought it was going to be just a generic fucking Liam Neeson. Just he's hunting down someone. But it is that it is the premise is that. But
it's a lot more than
so
that
much,
too.
It was surprisingly it's a dark comedy in the best ways. It's very dark and pretty funny at some parts.
I was laughing out
Yeah, so was
loud
I,
in
yeah.
the theater.
It was
and that's
me and
hard
one
to
other
do.
guy, and I was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
The one other guy were. But yeah, surprisingly, that really threw me off.
Don't you love those loud laughers? Like when you go to a comedy show or you go to a
Yeah.
movie and you've got the guy. He's not annoying.
Sometimes.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah, as long as they're not
Yeah,
annoying,
right,
yeah.
right. This guy wasn't annoying, but he would just laugh at the really funny parts. But it would make me laugh more in the theater.
Yeah.
And I went with Ken Dog, and this guy was laughing, not annoyingly, but laughing at the funny parts, and it made the movie so much more enjoyable because
Oh, yeah.
every time that guy was laughing, I started laughing harder.
But this movie was not, advertised as funny in any way. At least I
No, it
only
wasn't.
saw maybe 30 seconds of the trailer or whatever, and then that's all I need to see because the trailer made it look like it was just an average Liam Neeson movie or whatnot. But it was a lot more than that. I was
That's the
surprised.
thing too. Like even the poster was just like the car on top of the tree
Yeah,
in the snow, and no context. as to
literally
what
going
this
into, I
was.
thought it was going to be taken with snow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. But it was a little more than that. I'll give you the premise.
Yeah, go ahead.
It Nels Coxman, and that's a real name. That's his name, Coxman.
Right.
Is a family man whose quiet life with his wife is upended following a mysterious death of their son, Nels. Search for justice turns into a vengeful hunt for Viking, a drug lord whose also name is Trevor. Viking.
Right. Thank you for adding that.
A
Yeah, we
drug
talked
lord-
about that off air.
A drug lord he believes is connected to the death, and as one by one as Vikings associates disappear, Ned goes from upstanding citizen to ice-cold vigilante, letting nothing and no one get in his way.
Wow.
So just that, it makes it sound like a regular Tarantino movie.
It does, yeah.
But what you don't know is he plays this guy, Nell Coxman, who's just like a fucking regular Joe. He's literally just a plowman.
Yep.
I mean, he's not CIA or he's not anything.
He's not anything special.
No, nothing
he's just
at
a
all.
snow plowman who happened to win Citizen of the Year that year.
He says it of the year.
Yeah.
He's big dick. Yeah, everyone loves
Pretty
him.
impressive.
Nicest guy, doesn't have any
Great guy.
problems or anything.
Yep.
Small town. It even shows him he's always the guy who will pull over and jump your car and whatnot. Just, you would never think this guy would
Murder people?
murder many people. But turns out anyone can do it.
Anyone.
And the plowman, it turns out, is the perfect fucking job to murder people.
Totally.
We
You
should
got that
be
big truck
very-
too. No one's gonna pull you over. You
Oh,
think
no.
the cop's ever gonna pull you over and be like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?"
No.
Plowing these roads for you, my friend.
And they're
Now
going
get
up
the
in
fuck
the
out of my way.
And they're going up in the middle of nowhere, plowing those logging roads and
Uh-huh.
shit. We
Can
should
you
be
imagine?
more wary of plowman.
We should
Luckily, where we're from, we don't get a lot of them.
No, we do not. No.
But I assume that 80% of them kill people.
Well, that's a high estimate. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wouldn't be good for those TV shows on the History Channel, those extreme loggers or whatever. Wouldn't be good for
You
that.
gotta
Not
think
good
though.
business.
You gotta think people that are stealing the joy from the children. Because plowmen are the reason you have school. So if you're gonna,
That is
it
true. If
takes
you're
a
taking the
special
joy
kind of-
away,
you're taking
yeah.
that's a special kind of.
You
person.
enjoy.
That's a
taking other
person that
things
kills
away.
multiple people. Yeah,
And the way he disposed of the bodies, I loved
it was smart
in this movie.
yeah.
It was so smart.
But again, that was another funny part where it was like,
Wrapping them in chicken
yeah,
wire.
and even his brother, whose brother actually ends up being a gangster or something.
Mm.
But he asked him how he got the method to it, and he was just talking about how he saw it on TV once. or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
And it is good method.
It's a great method. He finds the biggest waterfall you can find and just tosses
Yeah.
them right on in.
But
Fish wire so they float to the bottom.
yeah. So the movie opens up and it shows his son, right? And his son's working at an airport. And his son immediately gets killed.
Right.
He's loading
He got
luggage.
captured by a drug cartel thing.
Yeah, and that's all it really tells you is, yeah, and he gets kidnapped and they
He gets
kidnap
kidnapped
him
and then they force inject heroin into him.
Yeah, to make
for
it
an
look
OD.
like he OD'd. Because,
Even though he didn't have a heroin problem.
no, he wasn't a druggie.
No.
Liam
Liam
Neeson
Neeson
makes
made
that
that very
abundantly
clear.
clear.
Yes,
He was
absolutely,
not a
yeah.
druggie. But, yeah, what I liked about this movie is Liam Neeson does not make it all about him. And maybe that might be to the fault at some points because when his son dies, there's no emotion. And I think that was for a purpose, but there's...
Yeah, I noticed that too. That was one of my things where I was like, this is weird. Like, he just did not seem
Yeah.
to care that his son died.
It's he wasn't really. He was more about the reason why it happened. And
Yeah.
everything. Because his wife, who's played by Laura Dern, who I do
Which
not They do not use her well. I mean, they do not use her nearly enough. She is so fucking good in everything.
She's great.
They never use her enough in things, and she's not used enough in this. Every scene she is in is amazing, but she's not in very many scenes.
I totally agree with that.
She at one point just leaves the film.
Well, yeah, because she has like a breakdown and then just leaves him.
But we never really
and then he goes to commit suicide.
Yeah, and we never get anything from that, though. That was one thing we never saw. I mean, he never, shows zero emotion.
Do you think that was the direction they were going for, though? Because it was like a very dry, very dark comedy.
It might have been, but there was a lot to this film.
There was.
A lot of different pieces, too, with like the Native Americans and stuff.
Right,
so
yeah.
I can definitely see it not even just fitting in. Because this movie was, I mean, it was a solid 2 hours itself.
Right.
But I mean, any longer, you would have to fit in a whole nother plot of him going to get her back or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't think it was part of the story where I don't think there was any way he was going to get her back.
Yeah.
Because I think he knew he was going to die at some point.
Eventually. I mean, if you're going against an entire drug organization.
Yeah. And he was going to kill himself at one point also.
He was, yeah. Took the gun to his dome.
That's
when he found his friend, his son's friend.
And that was before that Laura Dern even left him.
Was it?
Yeah, that was right. That was like, because he immediately goes from the funeral, gets drunk, goes in. Cause,
they didn't have the argument before in the house?
No, because that's before he even sawed off the gun. They had the argument, but he didn't find out that she left yet.
Oh, okay. But then he comes back and he sees.
Because he comes back and he sees all her shit's
okay.
gone. Yeah. Yeah, because he was ready to end it right off the fucking bat. Because they did have that big argument or whatever. Mm. So, so they kidnap his son and his son's friend who both work at the airport.
Yeah.
But the son friend gets away, runs away from the fucking van or whatever.
He's beaten to shit, too.
Oh, yeah, they beat
Doesn't
the shit
look
out of him.
good.
No, he's not looking good. And he, for some reason, goes to Nell's house.
Yeah, like the garage or whatever, and hides in the shed.
He goes, I'm not even sure if it was part of his house, but it was like his workshop.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
workshop.
If that was his place of work, if it was next to his house or not. But, yeah, he goes there and because he wants money or something. And he doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't go to his own parents' house. He goes to Liam Neeson's house. But as he goes into Liam Neeson's house, Liam Neeson has a rifle in his mouth, and he's about to
pull the trigger.
Yeah, he's about to shoot himself. In a very good scene, and he's crying and whatnot, and he's getting drunk. But he interrupts him, and the whole thing, this is how the whole thing sets up, is he tells him that he didn't die of heroin.
That they were captured by the drugs.
Because his friend stole like 1 kilo of cocaine or something.
Like an idiot.
Immediately got caught.
Never did that.
I think within the hour he did it.
Yeah.
I think he got caught. And they were pissed off, obviously, so they killed him and his friend. Except he got away. Now Liam Neeson knows, though. He knows that these guys killed his son or whatever. And he gets his name. He gets a name of the drug dealer, the main guy with the mohawk, right?
Yeah.
And the first kind of vengeance or action part of the film, he goes to the club, finds that guy, beats the shit out of that guy in a very brutal, and that's what this movie does not shy away from showing the fucking brutality of this movie. Yeah. So he beats the shit out of that guy, right?
Yep.
And he just asks him, he gets more information. That guy gives him another name. And he chokes this guy out in a very long, pretty realistic chokeout scene. He chokes him out because Mary chokes him and he doesn't die eventually.
Yeah.
He chokes
him again.
And he's got to choke him again. And it lasts like 10 minutes or something. It lasts a very long time.
That's probably true, though, if you're killing someone. And that's another thing that's really awesome about this movie. It's realistic.
That's 100% true. A lot of killers have said that it's much harder to actually choke someone to death
than what you would imagine.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit of time.
It takes a lot of effort.
Oh, yeah.
I'm too lazy.
You got to make sure they die.
I got too much.
Oh, I got too
much. I got other things I got to do.
Use a gun or something. I can't.
It's not worth it.
You really got to enjoy it.
Yeah, you
really got to
enjoy
what you're doing.
Yeah, you do.
But he chokes this guy. And again, like you said, I really liked, and it's all about, my hat's off to the director, Hans Peter Moland, who this is a remake of a movie that he originally did.
He made
so he
a
remade his
Norwegian
own
film
movie,
or something like
and
that.
And now he's doing an American version of it.
Yeah, he made only 4 years ago?
Yeah, not too long ago.
But hey, stick to what you know.
Usually remakes of foreign films to American art usually don't end up very well.
Yeah.
They usually are kind of shit because they're some things get lost in translation or whatever. But yeah, so he chokes this guy to death. He gets another name, and it just starts off a long chain of literally the whole movie is him going guy to guy, hunting these people, trying to take out the whole entire, or trying to go to the very top to try to find who the main guy was that put into play his son's death.
Right, and I love all the names too that they have, like Viking, Sly, Shiv, Smoke,
everyone.
Windex. They all have like a code name or like a drug name.
Everyone, everyone, and at some point they make a note. Why does everyone have a name, a nickname, or whatever? But yeah, and I love the way they went about the deaths. Or
that was my favorite
where it showed
part.
a death, and then it showed the card,
and then the cross.
Yeah,
and then their name on the bottom.
It was a really interesting
awesome.
way. Yeah, and it was aesthetically, it was nice to see. But basically, this movie is just one misunderstanding after another.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely the theme in this film, as it is just one giant misunderstanding.
It really just goes off
around.
the rails of So he starts killing off these Vikings. Viking, who's the main drug dealer.
Yeah, the kingpin.
He's kingpin. Who's just some like regular suburban business guy who's got a son and everything. And you see that he's going through a divorce with his wife or whatever. He's got very non-drug deal problems.
He does.
He doesn't like
very
his
real world problems.
He doesn't like it, and he's a dick. You can already see he's a dick to his son. Doesn't allow his son to eat like ho-hos or anything.
Nothing. He doesn't let the kid be a kid. You gotta let a kid be a kid, man.
No, he doesn't let him anything. No, he's a dick. Everyone hates him. You can already tell that. But
his guys start dying.
Yeah,
2 or 3 down.
His guys start falling off.
Yeah,
because fucking Liam Neeson is.
He's picking them off one by one. He's starting to get down to the nitty gritty. He's finding these guys.
He's doing it in really just the most mundane, like non-cool hitman way. I did laugh out loud the scene where he's chasing the guy with the snowplow, and the guy's like freaking out. Remember, he's like,
right.
And then he pulls up, and he's somehow in front of the guy, and the guy just knows. He's like, "Oh, I'm fucking dead." Yeah, it was so fun. But yeah, scenes like that a lot. Anyways, he's taking them out one by one, killing them. He's got this shitty fucking hunting rifle, the worst gun you can have if you're gonna go
kill people.
Yeah. It's like a bolt action. He sawed it off. It's
but
still
like a
fucking
22.
giant.
Yeah,
He's still covering it, but he walks around with that.
He one-hands that bad boy a few times in the movie too.
At one point, he fucking, in a brutal way, smashes the front of it in some guy's mouth, and the guy spits out a bunch of teeth. Yeah.
Well, that would happen.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I always hate those movies where a guy gets pistol whipped and he's like, "Oh, ow!" I'm like, dude, if you pistol whip someone in real life, they would be knocked the fuck out with a broken jaw.
And this movie does a good job of that.
Does.
Where when you hear the snap and the fucking break and everything, and they're spitting out teeth. Yeah, and it's even cool where it's like Liam Neeson, he's beating the shit out of all of them, but you see his hand is killing him like throughout the movie because he keeps going back to it. Where like, and that's something that never shows in movies. You know, people are just punching people all goddamn day, nothing. Tom Cruise, I mean, he's got super fist.
He's pretty impressive. Don't get me going on the boy.
Yeah, but so he's killing people. Who does he kill after the Mohawk guy?
He kills 2 other people.
Yeah, he kills them right after. But the whole time, Viking, he thinks that
White Bull is responsible, which is a rival Native American gang.
So we forgot that this whole thing takes place in Denver.
Yes.
Denver.
Up like way out.
So it's a ton of snow. Yeah, but there's a rival gang, and they're all Native Americans. And Viking and his dad, whose name is Bullet, a lot of nicknames, he was in, he had a deal with White Bull, and they split territory or whatever. And then
kind of like a peace treaty, essentially.
Yeah. And then his dad, they never show Viking's dad, but his dad was apparently just as big as dick as he was. And he kind of screwed over White Bull, right? With taking his land or whatever.
Right, yes.
And there's a funny part where Viking goes and he's talking about how greedy Native Americans are for like wanting their land back and shit like that. Funny shit like that. But so Viking thinks that White Bull is killing all these people.
He
so
does.
Viking goes and he kills White Bull's son.
He takes revenge. And White Bull is not very happy about this cash.
No.
Not at all.
And I just love Native American anything, and it's so interesting to me. I mean, even though it's an over exaggerated, obviously,
right? Yeah,
but I just love.
it has to be.
I love it in movies. It's just I don't know. It's very dramatic with the deaths and everything. And how even in this they had to do the whole.
They're very principled too.
Yeah, exactly.
Very principled, and especially when White Bull, they think they're gonna come to like a truce, and he goes, "No, blood for blood."
Yeah, son for son.
Yeah.
So White Bull wants to kill Viking's son, who has a huge part in this, and the kid is good. I like.
He's a good actor. Yeah,
man, he was not annoying or anything, and his chemistry with
Liam Neeson
was really
great.
good.
It was.
The scene where we'll jump all around, but there's a scene where Liam Neeson kidnaps Viking's son.
He does, which actually that's not really jumping around because that's kind of the next plot of the story is where he goes over to the school and.
He kidnaps Viking sons to avoid White Bull kidnapping because he knows that White Bull wants to kidnap his son.
He wants to know that he's dead. He wants to kill his son.
And really, again, this whole movie it's about it's really about the father and son relationship and everything with White Bull and his son and Viking and his son and Liam Neeson
and his son.
So it's all about. It's really all about that. But so he kidnaps his son and White Bull wants revenge because White Bull's only son, Baby Eagle, that was his name, right?
Mm-hmm. And what about that gruesome scene, too, when the messenger shows up to White Bull?
Yeah, that's an awesome scene. Go ahead and talk about that scene.
Well, because there was like a side plot to it where one of the Vikings guy, they were actually gay, secretly gay. And
again,
the man who was responsible
at that part, I'm like, why'd they add that? I mean, there was a lot of side plots.
I think culturally you do sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of thrown in there last minute.
Well, I know as far as that,
or it's kind of like a side story.
That had to be put in there to move forward because remember that guy eventually calls in and stabs it. But I mean,
exactly.
I could have felt that because that guy was so annoying. His lover or whatever. Eventually, he was going to kill
the bigger one, right? Or no, the skinny one, the younger one, right?
Because from the very start, that guy is just talking back the entire time. Mm-hmm. And he says the wrong thing every time. And every time Viking gets pissed. Every time he's saying the stupidest shit where you knew he was going to. But then they throw it in that he's actually fucking banging the main head bodyguard guy, who's like Viking's right-hand man. That they have a relationship. But eventually, Viking does get fed up, and he does kill that guy and the ball.
Well, he kills him, too, for multiple reasons, because then he wanted to pose it as he was the one who killed White Bull's son as well.
Yeah. But again, it was that he killed him because he was like, why don't we just apologize? And Viking knew that was a long shot, and they did end up apologizing, and it didn't work.
It did not work. Yeah, because they brought the head of him. To White Bull, and then he killed the messenger,
and they say that was all that guy's idea was because they were just going to put the whole blame
on him.
On him. Yeah. And White Bull, obviously,
he wasn't buying it.
Son. No,
son for son. It's principles, man.
Oh, yeah. You got to. So, it's a blood debt. So Liam Neeson, he kidnaps his son, right? They're bonding. They're finally, because early on we learned that Liam Neeson never had a really good relationship with his son or whatever. They hung out a lot, but they never really got to know each other. Again, it's more side plot and everything. But he really bonds with this kid because this kid's never had a really father-son relationship because his dad's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And he's got bigger things to worry about. But so they end up having some good scenes together, and they're bonding or whatever. And the kid just wants to stay with Liam Neeson. The kid.
He's like, I'm good with this. Like, you got a spare bedroom? Because I'm gonna move in with you.
Yeah, and because Liam Neeson also lets him eat junk and stuff, and the kid.
For the first time too. Yeah, that kid's loving it.
Yeah, and despite kidnapping him, the kid fucking. It's like
pretty well adjusted, all things considering.
He gets to ride in the snowplow. Every kid's dream is riding the snowplow.
Yeah, and to drive it himself.
Nice. And he was reading them the snowplow magazine and everything, stuff like that. I liked a lot. But eventually Viking learns that Coxman was killing his son. Well, eventually, we didn't get into it. There's another side plot with
the assassin
and Liam Neeson's brother. Because remember, Liam Neeson's brother was a gangster or whatever, and because that's when he went because his brother was the one who told him about what was his name? What was the assassin's name?
Oh fuck!
It wasn't the igloo. It was the Eskimo.
Eskimo, yes, the Eskimo. Yeah, that's what it was.
So he hires, because
And then
Liam
the
Neeson's
Eskimo
brother tells
rats
him,
him out.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's brother tells him that the only way to kill a guy as high up as Viking is you got to hire an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
So he hires an assassin. That guy immediately fucking turns on Liam Neeson, tells Viking everything.
And Viking doesn't like that because you can't trust a man like that either.
No. So Viking kills the Eskimo.
He does.
Let me tell you, the Eskimo,
I love that scene too.
The
It was
Eskimo's
funny.
not what you think. It's a black guy.
It is,
So it's not-
yeah. Which kind of makes it the more like irony, kind of funny.
Yeah, and they explain that they said the only reason that a black guy would ever move down to Denver is everyone would call him an Eskimo because that's the only reason, because he's like the only black guy I guess
right
in Denver.
In Denver, I suppose. I guess. Yeah.
I don't think they have very many black people up there, but yeah. So he immediately rats him out. So Viking eventually learns that Coxman killed his men, but he thinks it's his brother Coxman. So he kills that guy.
Right.
That guy's some big rich gangster. His name was the Wingman. He's got ass cancer, so he just takes the kill, which was a cool part of the story because it made sense because he obviously wasn't going to throw his brother under the bus because he was already dying.
Yeah, he was dying of cancer anyway, and his wife was pissed about it too,
And
which was a funny. Those were funny scenes
were
too.
really funny.
Yeah.
And the scene where they're at the funeral or whatever, and she just spits on his grave
Yep.
and walks away. Yeah, I like those scenes a lot. But eventually, he finds out that it's the wrong Coxman, right? And that that there's another Coxman and some no one or whatever. Again, the whole time there's another side plot where there's two cops involved. That's like a main Emma Rossum and the other old guy,
Right.
who are trying to solve all these murders or whatever. But we didn't really get into that. That's just another side plot. But yeah. So and they all figure out where Coxman is. Because they figure out the name of his truck or something, the company,
The company that he works for, and where they park the snowplows.
yeah, his
Right.
workshop or whatever it is. But also the gay bodyguard calls White Bull and tells him where Viking's going to be, where's the sun is,
right, yeah.
where the sun is,
Which is an ambush essentially.
yeah,
Which
was
that's
kind of
when the
crazy
big
because
whole-
that bodyguard liked that kid too,
Uh-huh.
but he was willing to just fucking
Well, at that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Never take a man's lover.
no,
Never do that. It's not a good idea. He will seek revenge.
yeah,
10 times
everyone
out of 10.
wanted to kill that kid. But so they all meet up and it's a big fucking shootout.
It is.
Indians on one side.
Great shootout, too.
It is a great shootout.
It was fun.
Let me tell you, the Vikings men seemed a little more equipped.
For the shootout? Yeah, I would say so.
It seemed very one-sided. Like,
Right.
this fight was not going very well. But eventually everyone dies, and Viking ended up dying, gets killed by the chief or the main... After every Indian is dead.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's alive. But, yeah, so White Bull is the only one that's alive, and he eventually shoots Viking in the very end, shoots him in the chest in a good scene. And the kid lives, and Liam Neeson lives throughout the entire thing, too. Mm-hmm. He somehow dodges all
Mini
these
bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, he just fucking starts snowplowing again.
Just going back to the daily 40 hours a week,
Even though
weekly.
there's a massacre on his front lawn, many people dead.
Sometimes you just got to go back to
Someone's
work.
got to plow the roads, am I right?
Someone's got to get it done. Someone's got to do it, man.
Snow's not going to stop falling those because you got bodies on your
Nope,
yard.
it ain't.
And at the very end, it's such a weird and kind of bizarre. This whole movie is kind of weird and it has bizarre scenes. They're all funny, but they're kind of... It's just odd, but White Bull and Liam Neeson end up being in... Because remember, White Bull's like on the side of the snowplow, and he's like hopping in the cab at the very end, and they just end up riding off together. And probably what's going to become the craziest buddy cop, snowplow man, White Bull
That
sequel.
would be fun. Just more of a lighthearted comedy.
Just them going out, hunting
Having
bad
a good
guys,
time.
getting rid of the bodies.
Yep.
Adopting that kid together.
Wrapping them up in fish wire and throwing them off the waterfall.
Yep.
That's how you got to do it.
That's pretty much how it ends.
Yep.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about, but right before the Native Americans, the Indians, the White Bulls tribe, they're going to go to get the kid or whatever, to kill the kid. Mm-hmm. They stay in like this, what is it? It's like this resort up in the mountain. Remember, they get a bunch of free stuff. So they're all having a really good time, and the guy hang glides earlier or whatever.
Yeah, and he falls right into the blender or whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
So it's like
And that was his last guy, too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's literally like that guy wasn't even in the fight. They just let that guy hang glide for hours.
I guess that was it.
So he was hang gliding for just hours, just gone. Who knows where he's... And they didn't even look for him. And then at the very end...
He just falls into the
runs-
grinder. Yeah.
The last guy. And then there's no more crime in that town. Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead and gone. So cleaned up the streets of Denver.
In one night, really.
Yeah.
But that's what Liam Neeson's going to do. You invite him to your town, he's going to clean it up.
He has to. What else is he going to do? Sit there?
He's a hunter.
Yeah.
He's a killer. You can try to give him these mundane jobs, fucking snowplow man, train driver. I don't know what the train one was, but...
Commute.
Yeah.
Commuter or something like that.
I don't know what his job was, but he's going to find a way to kill people.
He does. He always finds a way.
No matter what. Even in real life, I think. If he...
I think he probably could. Or he probably does.
If he did... Well, I'm saying if he did not become an actor, he would have some kind of... He'd be
some sort of
prison or
hitman?
something. He'd be, yeah. Because, I mean, the only way he's not killing people in real life is because he's fake killing people on the movie screen. And that's kind of his therapy.
Some people are that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know he loves beating shit out of kids. And he loves hunting down people on the streets. He loves...
Beating them up with baseball bats.
Yeah. I wondered where was he at when he was looking for the black guy?
He just said random streets. I
know, but was it in Ireland? Because it was like, what are the odds he was going to find?
Right. Yeah. Probably not as good as like here or somewhere else. Yeah.
Was it like? I mean,
he would have been in Ireland 40 years ago. Yeah.
That's what I would think, because that's where he's from. I mean,
Right.
England, and everything. So I'm like, what? Did he go around knowing that there's like no way he was gonna? I mean,
yeah. So he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go look, and he's like, I know I'm not gonna find anyone. So maybe that's why I thought it was okay to tell everyone that, because he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna find anyone anyway.
Well, when he was fucking telling that, he had no idea it was that big of a deal.
No,
he was
didn't.
like shocked.
He was shocked.
What's
I know.
going
I'm like,
on? Yeah.
Why is everyone upset? It's like, bro,
You were gonna kill
you were gonna
an
kill-
innocent man.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't think he thought that one through.
But he didn't end up doing it.
No, he didn't.
Thank God.
So they say.
And now we have
Allegedly.
Qui-Gon Jinn. We've never
We
had
do.
Qui-Gon
I
Jinn
know,
without
the
him.
1999 classic, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Where would we have been? Could anyone else have played Qui-Gon Jinn if he was doing life in prison?
You know, I gotta say, absolutely, someone else could have played Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh, Qui-Gon.
But no one could have played Obi-Wan besides
No.
Ewan.
Ewan McGregor. No
Yeah.
one else. No one.
Glad we got to talk about Star Wars.
Yep, we always do. We throw it in there somewhere.
There it is.
Very impressed we didn't in movie news, too, because there was movie news, but I didn't throw it in there.
Really?
So, yeah, I said we're going to take a week off.
Well, Mace, what do you think about this?
Very, very surprising, man. I mean, again, like with this, I saw this movie a couple weeks ago, so I'm not as refreshed on this. But dude, I came out of this very surprised with this movie. I really love the dark humor. I love dark humor. I love those movies that don't push the comedy aspects on you too hard, and this one didn't at all. Because again, it was gruesome, gory, and just an overall good film, very solid. As far as a grade for me, I gave this one a solid B.
Yeah?
I liked it.
Like you said, I was super surprised too. I had no thoughts going into it. I had no anticipation. I didn't think it was going to be amazing. I thought it was just going to be middle of the road. But like you said, when dark humor is done right, it's one of my favorite genres for sure, because it combines, my favorite things.
A lot of different elements
Violence
too.
and comedy.
Yeah.
It's the best part. But yeah, it's honestly my favorite Liam Neeson movie since probably The
Star
Grey.
Wars? Oh.
No.
The Grey's the wolf one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not fucking Star Wars, no.
The best Star Wars movie out of all of them.
By far. But yeah, like I really enjoyed it. The writing was good. The dialogue was really funny. It kind of reminded me of like Three Billboards in Missouri kind of esque writing, where the writing was quick and it was really funny, and everyone was kind of on point, where it was, and everyone was really funny in it, even the henchmen and everything. It was just
Yeah, the all around cast was very
it
good
was
too.
really good. But yeah, I gave it a C plus.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty good. It was definitely a surprise hit.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Anything else to say about it?
I think that's it, man. Our YouTube page, look up Have You Seen It? Check out the channels. We're the second one with the popcorn. It's High Side Productions. You can find us on Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Instagram, Have You Seen It? We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, anywhere where you can find podcasts. And I think that about does it. So until next time.
Stay safe out there in these snow conditions. Stay away from snowplow, man, too. They'll fucking kill you.